All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Klein Owner Series here on MLB The Show 24. We are at the end of the 2025 season. The Orioles are now the new champions, and we are ready to roll here in this offseason. The big situation that happened was Rendon retired from baseball. So that $40 million amount of money that was assigned to him is now off the table. Because of that, we have $68 million in available budget heading into this season. I am so pumped. I think we got a lot of good pieces here that are on our team, but I definitely have to think about bringing in some new pieces to hopefully see these guys move forward. A key acquisition that we have to make sure we take care of here in arbitration or during this period is Jesus Luzardo. He was a big acquisition for us, and the hope is we can have him become our ace. And with the money that we have, I think about $15 million a year for him or more is more than reasonable for a player like that. Some of the other guys that are on our team right now are regressing a little bit, but honestly, they're doing quite well. Gleyber Torres won the Golden Glove last year, and him playing at third base is going to be a really nice moment. Nolan Shanua, look at this. He's now an 81 overall. He continues to progress in such a great way, and we got him 2 years on his contract, so we don't got to worry about paying that man for a while. We had some good things happen with Verdugo. We got him for 2 more years, and I think he's playing just great. Some guys that have struggled for our team right now, though, have been Jack Flaherty. Despite his OVR moving up, he had a very tough year last year. 5.53 ERA. He had 177 strikeouts, which was nice, but he walked 95 players, and they hit off him a lot. 10 compared to the previous years. He had 32 home runs knocked off him. Now, what I can see here is that with Flaherty, based on the amount of innings he pitched in the previous years, the way I look at it is I could probably move him to reliever, and we just got to figure out who is going to be that number 5 pitcher. Rengifo also struggled last year. I thought he was going to take a huge step forward, and unfortunately, we just didn't see it. He had a 252 average, which is better than the previous year. He struck out 83 times, which is around his range. He got walked more this year, a little bit more ribbies and 1 less home run, but he had 3 triples this year and 31 doubles. So he's getting there. We just got to see how we can figure out to keep him healthy. Robert Stevenson, right? I had him as a closer. I got him on 1 more year here. There is an opportunity and a possibility that we try to trade Robert Stevenson to another team, maybe for some prospects. I'd love to do that. That's what I'd like to do with Robert Stevenson. Taylor Ward last year was looking good, feeling good, and then he got hurt. End of the year with a 241 freaking average, struck out 142 times, just did not look right. The way I can see with Taylor Ward is there's an opportunity that we could potentially have him be our designated hitter and let him rock that, and we find a new left fielder. I think Ward's a good player. We got him for another year. I say, why the heck not, man? Let's keep him rolling. Zach Neto, he's a 78 overall. He has progressed immensely. His batting average looked way better than the previous year, 193, now up to 257. Caught stealing a couple times. He only stole 3 bases this year, a little more cautious. Struck out less, walked less, had twice as much ribbies and twice as much home runs, triples, more doubles this year, and over 30 more hits. So dude is progressing in a great way, so I'm excited about that. Mike Soroka, I'm hoping he can find his way through. 4.62 ERA. He had a 2.6 WAR, so I think we can get him right, man. Francisco Mejia last year was injured for most of the year with a torn MCL. He was on a great streak, and my hope is that we could leverage him to be a good backup for Logan O'Hoppe. Mickey Moniak looked really good last year as well. and I think he could probably play left field over Taylor Ward, and I think that might be the proper match for him. Sergio Dorda was improving. Now, Sergio Dorda to me is going to be a player that is going to be in the AAA with Caden Donna for this year, with a chance to move up. I like Sergio Dorda. I think he's got great potential. I just don't want to move him up yet. Ray Montoya is a guy that we might be able to leverage this year to move him up. He's 25 years old. Time is time, and it's time, and we need to get him rolling. Jose Cisnero, he's a cheap player. I don't really want to do anything too crazy for him. I think he's okay, but more than likely, I could see myself moving him down to AAA. I think he's got one more year left, so that might be the time to move him into the AAA group, and maybe remove him off the 40-man. If someone snags him up, they snag him up. Jimmy Herget, we didn't see much of him as he was hurt. I think he can play like that setup guy still. He's a little out of control at times, but he's not going to cost us much to keep him on there. I'm hoping for Pablo Caraballo to get it going this year. He was injured for most of the season last year. He was starting to find a rhythm, but we'll have him in AAA one more year, potentially with a chance to move him up. Chase Chaney, we gave him a chance to skip the AAA and go straight into AA. And honestly, I thought that was a nice move for him. We'll probably have him go down to AAA after spring training to get him one more year down there. But I think he'll be ready to roll. We saw a huge situation here for Jason Hayward. He is regressing a little bit, and I think this will be the time where we probably remove him off the 40-man and let him roll. I don't see myself using him as designated here. I think Taylor Ward, its time is now. Kyron Paris, he's progressed quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to seeing him move forward here. It's going to be pretty fun. That gets me to 38, so I can bring up two more guys in the free agency. Joe Adell, having him in the minors was the right decision. I don't want to move him up in the majors yet. I guess we could move him up to the major. I don't think that's a bad situation there. Davis Daniel, 28 years old. That's one of the guys I'm not worried about. Jose Suarez, keep him around. We signed him for 2 years, so I want to keep him there. Caden Donna looked pretty good at 22 years old, 69. We'll have him at AAA. Ben Joyce, this is where I need to know what he's going to do, right? Is he ready to roll down in the majors, or is the time now to get him going? We'll have him in AAA. This is what I'm looking forward to. Caden Donna, Ben Joyce, Sergio Dorda playing in AAA together, and kind of helping out with that AAA bullpen there. Max Schumann has moved up. Matt Horvath, I think it's almost time for him to move up soon. Leonardo Rivas, 28 years old. I could see myself probably trying to move him up, or keeping him there. Levon Soto, I think we have to decide on what we're going to do with him, right? Because we got Kyron Paris, so do we move up Soto? He developed pretty well. I just don't know if that's the time. Jordan Adams, we got him for 2 more years. I could see myself putting him on the block and allowing him to move on with another group, potentially. I could see myself trading Jordan Adams for sure. Letting him find another spot. I don't think we're going to get much, but I think I'd try to see if I can get another prospect for him. This is the big move right here. Juan Flores has moved up so well. I'm excited to see him play in the AAA for sure. It's going to be fun to see him play down there and kind of rock it out. Deshaun Knowles, I think, he's done what he needed to do. Francisco Valoria, the AAA, I think, is finding some really, really good pieces there. Isaiah Green, I think that might be an opportunity really soon to see him move up. Some of the guys really developed. We got guys like Gregory Uribe, right? 18 years old. These are our draft picks. Andy Blake. We got some dudes that I'm really looking forward to moving forward. Joaquin Gaspar. It'll be nice to see him move up. Raymond Kang's a 60 overall now. It's going to be nice to see him develop into something special. But we got some really good guys, man. We got some young players up and coming that are really excited to play. Uribe, Luis Myers, he's another guy. Ishii, it's going to be kind of dope to see Ishii out there. We'll probably have him in AAA, ready to roll. Ray Andino, keep him in single A maybe. Marshall Band, Bernard, we'll probably keep him down there. Rodney Cherry. Now these are some of the guys we picked up just to kind of fill our roster out, but it's gonna be fun, man. There's some really decent players here. Louis Palma is that reliever that we drafted. I'm hoping he kind of figures himself out. But Will Klein, probably time to him to get out there. He's considered a closer, so over Stevenson, I think that might be the move to do. Palmeiro. But the catcher situation, Thomas Wild, we're going to move him back down to AA. I want to get him some just more playing time there. Him and Giraldi Diaz. Francisco Mejia is going to move up to the majors. I think that makes sense there. Mejia could come down to AAA and just kind of rock everyone's world, but I don't really want to do that. Andres Feliz is one of our rookies that we drafted. We'll give him some opportunity to work out there. That's going to be fun to see how he develops. Well, we got some really good guys, man. I'm actually pretty excited to see what we can do. Steven Dwyer, this is one of our rooks, first baseman. He's got really good abilities. I'm actually excited to see how we're probably going to move him up into the AA real soon. Get him going and working out there. Evan White. This is a guy I think if I bundle him and Stevenson, maybe we can get a decent prospect there to a team that would like to have a guy like that. I think that might be the move. On the second base spot, we're definitely assessing our guys there. John Weimer, our Wimmer. That's a guy I'd like to move up. Lane Pokey. I think it might be time for him to go up to the AAA. Let's see what he's got there. Caleb Ketchup kind of fizzled a little bit. I don't know. Winsel Perez. I'd probably move Ketchup and then release Winsel. Will Wagner. He's 27 years old. I just had him on the roster just to have him. Mac Horvath. Have him in AAA for a little bit. That'll be good. Max Schumann. 28 years old. Probably keep him down there. He'll just be an all-time freaking minor league guy until it costs us money. Jack Winkler. Same thing. We had him there. Fountainell. I think it'll be time to move him up. Joaquin Gaspar. Same thing. Get them up into AA. Get them work. But yeah, Leonardo Rivas. I think if he's willing to take another minor league contract, great. Luis Almeida, that's a guy that I'd like to see kind of growing in the AA. Andy Blake, I think this is one of our, no, it's not. So Russ Delonte, he's going to look for a new contract, but that's a guy I'd like to progress there. Left field, Caraballo is going to get an opportunity, man. I'd like to have him in the minors for a little bit, but that's what we'll probably do there. And then Joe Stewart, he's not one of my guys. Center field, Quincy Hamilton, not so much. I think I got Kennedy Corona. Oh, I don't think my guy's here. Nelson Rada is. And yeah, so that's a decent roster there. As far as the staff is concerned, we need a new pitching coach. So here's what I got going on right now. I went ahead and put a bid in for 3 pitching coaches. Alex Beretta, who I'm trying to pay a little bit more. He's got a higher hits per 9 that I'd love to see there. +1 velocity and stamina and control. Stephen Vaught, +1 velocity, stamina, home runs per 9, and +2 break. That's not a bad move. And then I'm looking at Rocco Baldelli, who has a home runs per 9, +2 walks per 9, +1 strikeouts per 9, and a pitching clutch. Again, that's not an issue at all. And then I'll probably put another bid here for Marco Barrera. He's not asking for a lot at 4 years. At $9.75 million, I'm cool to offer that. So I really want to get a good pitching coach here. We currently have no exclusive free agents, so I do not have to worry about that. And I am cool with moving forward there. Let's see what we do. I don't have to worry about that. Let's go to the calendar, sim through. So Vaught accepted the Guardians offer as a pitching coach, so he's no longer accepting us. Beretta has accepted the Nationals pitching coach, so we don't get him. Cabrera no longer interested in offer pitching coach. Would you like to stop simulating? So what the heck happened? What the heck happened, man? So, oh, Cabrera ended up becoming a freaking manager. I thought I had all my guys, dude. I thought I had a decent offer for these guys, and it didn't work out. And this is the issue, right? So Richie Hill, I gotta figure out how. I thought I'd put a decent offer. Maybe I had to spend way more. So that's on me there. That really hurts, man. I was hoping for a better situation here. Hickey's accepted our offer, so we got him for a 4-year deal. Let's check it out real quick. Coach contracts. So we grabbed Jimmy Hickey. We get +3 walks per 9, +2 hits per 9, strikeouts per 9, and a +1 home runs per 9. Just a hit per 9 is a -1, but that's not bad. I'll take it. We got a good group. I really feel like we got a good group. The Sam Luca one, it's just going to cost me a little bit more money. So I don't want to wait, but the drag bunt, that doesn't hurt me as much. So I'm cool with that. I think our first base coach has done well. Eric Young's done fine. I mean, we could have grabbed some more guys. I just didn't want to fire him. This is a good group to keep together for now. So, how many players do I have on my 40? I got 25. I got 37, 38. So I got 2 players available for my 40 right now. So it looks like we can offer arbitration here. And I just like to make an offer. So what is he looking for? He is looking for a decent deal here. In my opinion, we got the cash. I'm willing to spend the money here. I want to be the ace. I'd like to have a club option there. Let's do that. And I think this is where, with Luzardo, how good he is, I think that's a fair deal to sign him to a 4-year deal, $18.9 million. Let's make it 19 fair. And I think that's what I'd like to do here. He's a good player. I think he deserves to be the ace. And I hope he accepts that. As far as tendering contracts, we'll kind of knock some of this stuff out here. Sergio Dorda. Therefore, you may renew their contract at any price greater than 80% of the salary from the last season, but no lower than the minimum salary. So, okay. So his previous salary so I'd have to offer him $780,000. So if I just made an offer, that's what he would want. Honestly, that's not a bad deal. I'm cool with signing him for a 3-year deal now because we're going to bring him up next year. Chase Cheney, make the offer. 26 years old. He's asking for the cash. What's gonna cost me? $780. I'll submit that offer. I'm cool with that one. I think that's a good one. Kyron Paris. This is where I'm willing to make an offer. Probably a 2-year deal. Actually, with Kyron, I think what's fair is probably like 1.2 million. I think that's a fair deal there. Max Schumann, I'll put him there. Caden Donna. So this is the amount of money. He's asking for 780. I'm cool with that. Andrew Moore. This is another guy. He's asking for a little bit of cash. Definitely asking for a little bit of cash here. He's one of the guys that we traded for, so I have to remember that. I think that's fair right there. That's a good gamble. Okay, so now that I went ahead and moved some of the players out, tendered some offers, we went ahead and submitted an offer there for Luzardo. I want to see what's out there as far as some free agents. You got some really big players out there, right? And we got the cash. We have 71 million in the available budget here. It says pending offers about 27 million. So we got some space. There's some really good players that we can take an opportunity on and really try to see if we can get this going. Vladimir Guerrero is out there. Got some really good players. But the first things I'm paying attention to is pitching. There's some really good pieces out there. Dylan Cease is out there. You got Zach Gallan is out there. You got Brandon Woodruff, Chris Paddock, Dustin May. There are some dudes out here. These are players that could really change the game for us. So we have to really pay attention to the guys that we're going to bring in, and hopefully, we could really change how this team ends up being in the next season. It's not going to be easy, but I feel like there is an opportunity for us to bring in a big piece. You got Zach Gallan is a very good pitcher that has done very well. 2.6 ERA, 192 strikeouts. Everything right here screams like this could be the guy. Now, we did spend money on Luzardo, but it doesn't mean that, we got to stop the spending there. 2.3 ERA versus Gallan, who is at a 4.3 WAR. You got to spend the money. The Angels are a tough team to play with, right? They're a tough team to really work on, but the way I look at it is that's a good one right there. Nestor Cortez could be another fun guy to bring on as a potential reliever. There's some good other pitchers out there. I just think if I'm gonna go for a player, though, it's gotta be the big hit. And pitchers, you can't go wrong with that. They're trying to offer him 129.6 million for 6 years. I think for us, we have an ace in Luzardo, or thought of to be an ace in Luzardo. That they like our coaching. If we were to bring him in, we could look at a huge bang. 27.2 million a year. I'd like to see if maybe we can give a club option. Maybe backload his contract a little bit. He'd be 36 years old, so we definitely got to be careful with that. If we front loaded it, how much would that give us, right? If we front loaded it, we'd be down to 30 million. If we backloaded, we'd have another 47 million. We leave it as is normal, it'd be 39 million. Could we go after it here? I'd say what's probably fair is like a $3 million deal, a 3-year deal. It's a lot of money, but I think Oh, they offered him a contract. Oh, I got to withdraw it. Because a qualifying offer means that we can lose it as well. Looks like the Padres also made a qualifying offer on them. So I got to back off. So let me think about Chris Paddock now. 2.78 ERA, 4.8 WAR. That is not a bad consolation prize there. I think if we did that, we'll go a 3-year deal, 24. Like that's way better. We're offering him more money and 2 years left. If he wants to go pitch somewhere else, he can. I think that's a good move for us. We get a pitcher that can really help the 5 right there. Flaherty can be a reliever along with Suarez. I think that would help out our rotation there. So we only got one player that we're trying to think about bringing in for free agency. I'd like to see if I can get a trade going right now. The trade that I'm looking at is Robert Stevenson. He's on the last year of his contract. I'm trying to see if I can throw him in with trade, and maybe we try to put in a guy that I just don't see working out in Jordan Stevenson. I'd like to see if I can bring in some prospects. I want to be smart with what we do, but I definitely don't want to mess up too much. The Orioles are looking at sending us a starting pitcher in Jeff Cahill and Jude Fabian, a left fielder. They got a relief pitcher there, Leandro Arias, a shortstop. Let's look at the Orioles real quick. So they're trying to give me, I'd say, it's a reliever. If we get a starting pitcher prospect from them, I think I don't think there's anything. I think that's fine there. They get a center fielder, which they need. They get a reliever who is a little older. And he's a 79 overall, so he's probably one of the better guys there. They got cap space, and we get to move on from Jordan Adams. That's a good move for us. So there was another player I'd like to get rid of now, and maybe Jimmy Herget. Let's see if we can get a prospect from somebody. Giants, Padres, Dodgers trying to give up a George Eckert, a 19-year-old George Eckert. I don't see that happening there. Diamondbacks. Let's look at the Diamondbacks. Amari Zamora, 19 years old. So he is like middle of the pack for them as far as guys here. He's actually pretty solid. Okay, so if we do that, what else do they need? Need a first baseman. I think this is where we give him Evan White. We get Evan White off our contract. They get, a reliever they want. They need a first baseman, and then they also need a third baseman. Let's see, we got a left fielder we can give them. So I think that's good. We give them a reliever, so I think that's fair. They get Evan White, a first baseman, which I guess they need one. Oh yeah, they do. They need one. We're not using Evan White at all. 68 overall. He's better than every first baseman they got. So we send him to the Diamondbacks. So the Orioles, the current reigning champions, trade with us, and we get that going there. I'm pretty happy about that. So let's check out the history real quick so you can kind of see what we did so far. So when it comes to the Angels, we went ahead and traded Robert Stevenson. He was one of our closer guys, and Jordan Adams, who I just didn't see developing into the center fielding prospect that I would like. I think Caraballo can place the center field spot and he can get there eventually, and Adele's going to be there now. So we send them over to the Orioles, and in return we get a prospect in Jeff Cahill, a starting pitcher that I think can do some good work down in the AA group, maybe even the AAA, depending on what's needed. The Diamondbacks were willing to give us a great prospect in Amari Zamora, young starting relief pitcher, and in return they get a pitcher that they need now, and Jimmy Herget, and they get a first baseman, which they need help in the first base spot. So I think that was a good move for us. So that leaves room to bring in other potential prospects. I think what I'd like to do now is try to figure out how to build up this bullpen. So these are the offers that we put out there right now on the initial free agency. I want Chris Paddock. I think he could be a really good player for us. It's a good move. It gives us an opportunity to lean on a player here that could be pretty freaking nasty. When you look at Paddock, I think that could really help us out. I don't know, is that considered a qualifying offer for them? Is that what's going on there? I mean, we could go for the gusto, but it doesn't look like a qualifying offer was truly made there for Paddock. So we went after him. Luis Siga, reliever. I think he's got some nice heat that could really help us out. Didn't create just a 2-year deal. Jock Peterson, potentially a backup to help us out in depth on the outfield, but also first baseman in case something happens to Nolan, as well as a designated hitter. I looked at German Marquez to be, it says he's a starting pitcher, but really I'll have him as a reliever. Have him in the middle or long reliever situation, and then I brought in another guy here in Victor Robles, who I think, you know, just a depth piece there to help us out. So that's what we're looking at. I'm hoping that'll be something decent, but we'll kind of keep moving there. See if any of the players accepted our offer. Wow, Ellie De La Cruz, they put him in that nasty contract right there. And for us, we were able to get German Marquez for $4.5 million a year, which I think is a pretty good deal. Looks like Andrew Moore accepted it. Some of the depth pieces. Luzardo, he accepted our contract to be our ace. Caden Donna, Will Klein, Thomas Wild. So a lot of our depth pieces are back to help us out. So I'm pretty happy about that. Victor Robles, center fielder, also accepted our $3.8 million deal too. So Jock Peterson stays with us. Victor Medeiros accepts the contract there. That's sweet. Dylan Cease accepts a 6-year, $108 million deal to stay with the Braves. Juan Flores accepted our deal, so he's back. Looking forward to seeing him play. 40-man roster has to be set. So we get our guys. Let me look at the free agency real quick. It says the 40-man has to be set. Paddock has not accepted the deal yet. He's going to be the straggler for sure. Last day, yeah. No. Well, there it is. So Paddock accepted the deal. We now have Chris Paddock, a big ace here. 4 years, $96 million deal. Huge for us. I think that sets up the rotation in a great way. We got Jesus Luzardo now, who's going to be at the top there with Paddock. So now we're going to see that rotation there. And German Marquez, we'll get a chance to see how Will Klein can do. Luis Siga, I think Will Klein will probably play a setup guy. Siga will probably play potentially that right. So I think that's where we're at. Ryan Halesley, that's the big contract. Can we get it done? All players must have contracts tendered by December 2nd. So this is where we're at. We got some spots here. It looks like 23, 26. We got some room there. Still waiting. Is Halesley really waiting to the last moment here? Everyone is hoping for this closer. Will Smith accepts a contract. Ryan Halesley is the new closer for the Los Angeles Angels. Big play for us. We get the deal. Oh my goodness. Huge scenario there. So that is a huge signing for us. Now what we have to think about is filling the rest of the roster. So the Giants get him. I mean, the Angels get him. Blake Treinen. So that solidifies our bullpen now. We got Blake Treinen, Jose Suarez, Jonathan Luiswiga as our middle relievers, Jack Flaherty, German Marquez as our long relievers. Ray Montoya is going to get an opportunity to be our setup guy along with Will Klein, a rookie, and Ryan Halesley. We'll see how this looks like. This is our starting five. Man, oh man, dude. I think we got a good group. I'll worry about the lineup later, but I think we got a good crew, man. Get him down there into AAA. Let him relax down there. Yeah, I got to work on the rotation and stuff, but this is a good start. We're in a really good spot right now. We got a little bit of time before the winter meeting, so I'd like to see us grab a couple more just guys to fill in the roster, so we'll check on that. But this is gonna be good. So basically where we're at right now is we are straight even. We have maximized our entire profit. As you can see, our projected yearly deficit shows $1.66 million. Available budget's going to be 3.34. So we're going all in this year. We brought in a ton of different prospects, a ton of different players on the MLB side, and I think we got a great group. When you look at the majors, you know, we snag an ace here in Chris Paddock, who I think is going to be very special for us for the next couple years. We have a new closer now in Ryan Helsley, that he's a little older, but you want a guy that you can lean on for the next couple years until Ben Joyce gets ready to roll. You have Jesus Luzardo now, who we have signed for an extensive contract to be a big part of our rotation in the pitching. Patrick Sandoval did pretty well last year, but my hope is that with the pitching around him, the bullpen around him, we should be good. Logan O'Hoppe should be healthier this year. That's the hope. Reed Detmers, I need him to take a step forward this year, as he had a really tough time. Jack Flaherty's going to be playing in the long reliever role. We got Jonathan Lusuiga. Mike Soroka is going to be a part of the rotation. I think that we got some really good players. As long as we can stay healthy this year, I think we're going to see some players take a big step forward. The AAA group is up and coming, and they're ready to roll. Players like Caden Donna, Ben Joyce, Pablo Caraballo, Sergio Dorda, Chase Cheney. These are guys that I'm hoping take a huge step forward this following season so that they can move up to the next level there. I think as far as our current prospects that we drafted last year, it's going to be interesting to see how some of these guys continue to develop, right? Second year for Nelson Rada. I got players like Matthew Ishii, starting pitcher here, 63 overall, 18 years old, out of Japan. It's going to take him some time, and we'll probably put him as a long reliever. Gregory Uribe, our first round pick this year. We're going to get him going. Allow him to develop here at this spot. Amari Zamora, one of the players we traded for. We're going to get him in the reliever spot, get him going. Luis Myers, Louis Palma. I'm excited to see him develop. Raymond Kang, another year here. He's moved up out of the 50s into the 60s now. It's going to be really fun. So a lot of guys taking forward. As you can see, though, we're going to be short in the single area just on the cash right now. We don't have the cash to keep everybody, and I think we're eventually going to have to make some moves to bring in some new cats down the road. We spent quite a bit of money on the AAA guys to just keep them on contract. So we'll definitely pay attention to that. Going back to the sliders here, I just want to show everybody that we are using everything here at default Hall of Fame pitching and batting. But what I'm going to do on my end is try to reduce the amount of simulator injury frequency. I feel like I'm seeing that a little more often. And I'm going to increase the trading to one peg below middle. And we'll see how that works. Gameplay injury frequency will keep on when we play, and then everything else will stay the same. So that's the hope there. So knowing that we have all that, there are some incredible free agents out there. Bo Bichetti, which I'm really shocked that he's out there. He was supposed to go to the Blue Jays, but I guess he didn't accept it. If I would have known, I definitely would have thought about that, and then maybe moving Zach Neto out of there. It would have been nice to have a player like that, but I really want to develop Neto. Vladimir Guerrero, the people aren't really spending a whole lot of money on him. There was a big bag that Blue Jay already took. So Vladimir is just out there. Tommy Edman is another big guy. Lane Thomas has a couple offers. He looks like he's going to be a Yankee, Padre, or Red. You know, you got other cats like JT Realmuto. Teoscar Hernandez is a free agent again. Josh Naylor. Really good players out here. Luis Arise, Brandon Drury. These are guys I would have loved to pick up. Nestor Cortez, I just didn't have the cap for it. It didn't make sense to do it. And how I look at it right now with my new starting five here in the rotation, like this looks like a very good group of players. We're going to get Will Klein going too in some of these games and really leverage the players that we got. So it's going to be fun. I think we got a good crew, man, and I think we're more than capable. So that's going to go ahead and sim us. We're going to keep heading to the meetings here. Bo Bichetti's a twin. Let's head to the draft lottery. So what do they got us? They got us at pick number 9. So we improved a little bit. White Sox, not so much. Nationals, Rockies, they're all in the top 3. Athletics still up there. So we're improving. We were pick 6 last year. We're pick 9 this year. Little by little, we'll get there. Maybe we'll be at the bottom of the draft sooner or later. We'll simulate the draft lottery here and see what it'll allow us to do. I wonder what happens. It would be sweet to see us move up. And it looks like we will stay the same. The Nationals end up moving up, and the Mets. Whoa, the Mets had a 5.5 chance to move up. They're pick number 2. White Sox dropped to number 3. Rockies at 4. Tigers at 5. Athletics drop down to 6, and Giants drop down 2 to 7. So the Marlins are right below, above us. Interesting setup there. We're pick number 9, so we still got a decent shot at a good prospect. Teoscar Hernandez signs a pretty decent deal, $8.7 million for just a 1-year hired gun, basically. So a good move for them. And now we're at the Rule 5. You must have less than 40 players on your 40-man roster to participate. We have 40 men, so I did not want to do that. We'll just advance it, give everyone a chance to find their way there. Not all players, teams are set up that way. We didn't do anything because there was just no reason to. I didn't want to give up any picks. Jeremiah Jackson. Ooh, that would have been a nice pickup right there. Lionel Delgado. Oh, okay. I just didn't think I didn't want to give up any picks for that. We'll exit. So now where does that head us? We'll keep it going here. JT Realmuto heading to the Giants. Lane Thomas to the Yankees. That's a great deal. Cheap deal. Arbitration hearings. I don't really see myself making a trade. But look at this. Our guy's looking pretty good. Pitching looks top of the line now. Catching looks solid. Outfield looks clean. The infield looks pretty solid. This is awesome. We will advance to the hearings. So this is where we'll be at. There's still a couple players out there like Brandon Drury and Kevin Kiermaier, Randall Krichuk, Garrett Hampson. I don't think there is much for us to do. I don't really see myself trying to trade yet. Tomorrow's the last day to renew contracts. If they are not renewed, they will become free agents. But well, the off season's come to an end. Spring training is about to begin. So this is where we stand. And I think we got a good group, man. I think for the Angels, we did a lot of different things, a lot of moves. And we'll just go ahead and show what it's going to be looking like moving forward across the line. So our 40-man roster, we have a couple different new players that have joined the team, right? Like Chris Paddock, Ryan Helsley, Gleyber Torres is now second year here with the Angels. We're looking at Jonathan Luciga, so a lot of pitching. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Francisco Mejia plays for us this year. Sergio Dorda is going to get an opportunity here. They got him as a rookie. There is a huge chance that he'll probably get called up this year, whether before September or not. I think it's time to get him going. I need to see how Ray Montoya plays this year. I'd love to see him develop. We got good veterans like German Marquez. We'll see a chance. Pablo Caraballo, Chase Chaney. There's a chance we'll probably see Chase Chaney up this year. I'm hoping Joe Adele, develops into a player that will succeed here in the majors. Kyron Paris, knowing that we have time, I may move him down into the minor leagues after it's all said and done. But we won't look at any of the spring training stuff. My goal is to kind of just assess the team offline. Try out some of the pitchers, try out some of the hitters, the outfield and stuff. But my goal is to just figure out who's my 40. Like, is my 40 solid? And, which of that 40 is going to stay in the majors? Who's going to move down and kind of work through that. So I'm hoping for some good things here. A lot of rookies that are moving up right now, getting an opportunity to play in the spring training. So that's going to be fun, and we're going to try a lot of them out. Yeah, it's good. I think we got a good crew. I thought we did great. The fact that we spent our entire budget, we leveraged the Rendon retirement to really get us right. And this is the year. If we're going to do it, this will be the year for us to succeed. I think we got all the right pieces now to get us there. When you look at our depth chart, this is a good crew everywhere. Everyone looks pretty freaking solid. All the spots. Outfield has Jock Peterson now. We got Victor Robles in some spots. Mickey Moniak is out there. So the outfield, I think, is in a clean spot. The infield, I think, looks really good. We got players that can come up if needed. And they're still young, man. They're still young. They can grow. It's going to be pretty cool. And it already shows that we're 7th in contact, 7th in power, 9th in pitching, and 10th overall. We got to work on our defense, but man, this is really nice to see. We'll also make sure to get the training and stuff looked at. I always like to update all these based on what I feel is needed for the season. Get those in a good spot, and this is our goals, right? Our job security is very low. There's a chance we can get fired. We're gonna need something big this year. We need to reach the postseason. We need to have a shot at winning a division series, and I think that gives our guys a chance to move forward. If we can win a division series, I'll be pumped. The reason why I say that is because that lets me know that this team is heading in the right direction, and I just need one more year to get my guys right. I think I've drafted twice now, and the prospects that are coming in are developing in such a huge way. So that's the goal. Get to the postseason, man. Knock it out and be ready to roll. That'll do it for us today. Like I said, I will be doing the spring training offline just for me getting a chance to get to know my team. And, we'll talk through that. I don't really just like preseason in Madden. It's not really that fun. It's really more for me to understand the team before doing anything else. And then we will, have the next episode really just be about the start of 2026, man. This team's moving in the right direction. We will get there. We just got to be patient with it and roll through. So if you like what you saw today, please drop a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and most importantly, subscribe to keep up with the series. As always, everybody, let's go Angels. Have a good one.